and welcome back to my channel. So I'm very excited because today I'm going to be doing another Witch's Moon unboxing. As always, I do kind of go through these before I do the unboxings with you all, just so I have like a better idea of how to curate this video around the subjects and themes of each box. I know I promised you guys little meditation techniques and like how I use the items in my box. Not going to use the items in this box to show you meditation, but I am going to use items from a past box, I think, to show you what I would do. I thought this was an easier way because while some people may find this current box very, very in tune with their own personal craft, it is a box that I stray further away from with my own personal work. And I'll explain that because I know it sounds really weird and confusing, and I will like fully explain it as I go through the box. Anyway, I will be showing you guys a meditation today. I'm very excited on how I do it, and let me know if you want me to do it a little bit differently. I've never done one of these before, so it'll be really interesting to see what you guys think of this. Anyways, so for those of you who don't know, the Witch's Moon is a monthly subscription box that I've been getting for years. It's one of my favorite subscription boxes ever. It is dedicated to paganism and witchcraft in general and is not focused on one particular division of paganism and witchcraft. You don't even have to be a witch really to use it. I use a lot. I use most of the items in this box for self-care purposes, though I am a practicing Wiccan. So it does really help kind of balance out both self-care and my own personal beliefs. As always, if you are not into witchcraft, please leave no hate in our comments below. For anybody with any type of belief that they have, share, or express, I will not tolerate that, and your comments will be removed. And I want to thank you guys for being so kind and welcoming with all the comments that I've had since starting the series. Anyway, I am very long and very rambly today, so let's get into the Witch's Moon. Again, monthly subscription box. It retails total, including shipping and handling, for me for $54 a month, and I think it is worth every single cent. It is, again, one of my favorite boxes out there, and every time I get a box, it is a different theme that helps hone in a different aspect of your craft or beliefs, along with a lot of self-care items that also double as items that you can use in your craft, because a lot of witchcraft is all about self-love and self-care. So let's dive right on in. So as always, we're going to get our little spoiler pamphlet over here, and it says that this month's theme is Protectress of the Veil. And it says, as we step into this sacred season, we begin to truly rely on our practices to assist us in obtaining meaningful whispers of guidance. With the veil thinning, we delve deep into our connections with our ancestral and spiritual guides. While working with these guides, we call upon very specific energies for fierce protection and guardianship. We confidently walk into the dark half of the year, working with the shadows to realize our intentions and refine our interpretations and understanding. We've been working on this very exclusive and one-of-a-kind collection for over a year and cannot wait to finally bring these items to our subscribers this coming Samhain. For those of you guys who do not know, the veil between like the world of the living and the spirit world thins throughout the year until we get to October 31st, which is Halloween. In paganism, it is known as Samhain. That is spelled Samhain. It is not pronounced Samhain. It is Samhain. But fun fact, that is what Sam from Trick or Treat is named after. Yeah. But yeah, so the thinning of the veil, where we are closest to the spiritual world, will be on Samhain, October 31st, otherwise known as Halloween. So this is going to be a Samhain themed box, which I'm very, very excited about. Okay, so every single month we do get a little oracle card that has been handpicked by the creators and the witches over at the Witch's Moon, and each one is individual to the subscriber. So my personal one this month says Sensuality. Your freedom flowing from far away, I dance, I love, I laugh, I play. And it has this, what looks like a woman in like a stream or something. I don't know, it's very pretty though. Okay, we then get the Whispers in the Night spell that has this beautiful snake artwork with a little sigil on it. And then we get our Book of Shadows artwork information card, and this is going to all be on Medusa We then get our spell candle of the month, which is this beautiful like navy bluish black beeswax candle. It smells very beeswaxy. Sometimes they actually smell like the oils that they're infused with. Sometimes they smell overwhelmingly beeswaxy. This is one of the more beeswaxy ones. We get our herbs of the month, which is bird's foot, yellow dock, and episode herb. I don't know what any of these are. So yellow dock root is also known as Rumex crispus, and it's a medicinally beneficial herb. It's to support digestive support. It also assists in clearing emotional and spiritual blockages. Episode herb, I think that's how you say it. It's another cleansing and digestive promoting herb. And then bird's foot, which is also known as fenugreek seed, is usually found within many spells and sachets and has a unique quality of enchanting growth of all kinds. Okay, very cool. I've never heard of any of these herbs. I've said this a bunch. Herbal magic is not really something I use. I've done like a little bit of alchemy work and a little bit of like sachets and a little bit of spell casting with herbs, but I do very, very, very rarely use my herbs. We then get the Samhain Sacred Bath Salt. Ooh. It smells very sagey. Let's see what's in here. It is scented with star anise and amber oils, as well as yarrow, vervain, and mugwort. Okay, and then we get our Medusa Oil. What do you smell like? Ooh. This smells like a store I used to go to in college, like a clothing store I used to go to in college. Let's see, what is the scent of this? So this is going to be ylang ylang, I can never say that word right, anise, vanilla, patchouli, and cedarwood, along with lavender and dandelion. And then we get our Veil Ritual Incense. Ooh, I like that. They've given us some really nice potent incense recently. Last month's whole box was absolutely amazing. It doesn't say the scent of it, but I really, really like the smell of that. Okay, we then get our stone. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's really pretty. Kind of a weird shape, and it's got these little like imperfections in it that I really like. What are you? It is flower agate. Oh, flower agate has the unique ability to sever our ties with emotional and physical pain or baggage. During the dark half of the year, we focus on these specific intentions as we face our shadows and work to bring healing and restorative energies to ourselves. So here's the last item in our box, and this is why I was saying at the beginning of the video, this isn't necessarily something that I'm going to connect with on like a meditative, spiritual level, but I do absolutely adore this. And it is this beautiful plaque of Medusa. It's black and gold, which is amazing because my gallery wall in the room that I'm currently in is all black and gold themed. So it's going to look absolutely stunning on my wall, and I just, I love it. It's so, so, so pretty. And then it does have this little hole in the back so you can hang it. And then it also aligns with the artwork that we have here. So you can see, again, like the crown of snakes, that I guess is her hair, and then like these wings. I love that. This is the exclusive brass Medusa plaque. It is a one-of-a-kind brass Medusa plaque that was exclusively created for this collection. The deep, tragic, and magical history of Medusa is very dear to us. Her strong protective energies resonate with our sacred space during times of deep shadow work and ritual, guarding us from energies that are not welcome. She's got a ton and ton and ton of information listed here about Medusa and the history of Medusa along with that artwork. I'm not going to read it all because I feel like it will literally take forever and this video will then be super, super long. But what I want to say is in paganism, a lot of practitioners do have certain gods and goddesses from different mythologies that they connect to. For me personally, I was raised Christian before I became a Wiccan, so I still identify with like a one true God kind of aspect, and not particularly the Christian God, but I do like that as like my main source. However, I do also find really deep connections to Artemis or Hecate, depending on how you look at it. They're kind of the same being in different stages. So that is who I am drawn towards. Medusa, I I've never even thought of as a goddess before. I don't know too much about her in a paganistic belief. I just know what I learned in like my mythology classes in school. So this is not something that I would put my like spiritual energy towards. This is more just going to be like a beautiful art piece that I would use. Had this been Hecate, that would have been different, and I could have shown you how I would use something like a plaque in my own meditative work to resonate with like the meanings and intentions of Hecate. But since I don't really know much about Medusa, I don't feel that that's proper for me to do. That being said, I am going to show you guys how I use oracle cards. I noticed that there is a lot of Samhain and thinning of the veil mentioned in this box, so I have my Samhain oracle cards for the season of the witch. I have two decks that I particularly use. I have my Halloween tarot deck, and then I have my Seasons of the Witch oracle deck. So I want to talk to you guys about oracle cards, how I would set up an oracle card reading, how I would go through an oracle card reading, and how I use it for meditation. One of the main reasons I'm doing that is because I've received oracle cards many times in the witch's moon, and I love oracle readings. So how I would normally set up a meditation, I would cleanse the space that I am meditating in, either with a sacred bell that I have, burning incense. You can use salt if you would like, though I don't because that would just make a mess in my room. But typically I would probably light some incense and just walk around my space, asking for positive energy and guidance. And I would then light a spell candle to kind of be my guiding light, and I would keep it lit from beginning to end. I do have a candle snuffer that I would use to snuff these out, because it is considered like bad luck to blow out a spell candle. Now, that being said, if you don't have a candle snuffer, blow it out. I don't think the energies around us are going to be very, very angry if we can't snuff out a candle. So once I have all of that done, I would set up my oracle card mat, which is this beautiful thing right here. It's huge, and it does have all this gorgeous Celtic designs on it, as well as a pentacle with the 3 moons. So I have my mat set up, and then I would set out my oracle cards. So I do have 3 oracle decks. I have my astrological oracle cards, and then my mystical wisdom card deck. Both of these were given to me in previous Witch's Moon boxes, which is why I wish to talk about those and mention those, as was this beautiful oracle card mat, or altar cloth, whatever you want to call it. You can do this on an altar. I always tend to do it on the floor, just because it seems it's easier for me. And then today I'm going to use my Seasons of the Witch Samhain oracle deck. So I did purchase this. I purchased this at the Namaste bookshop here in New York City. I absolutely adore this deck. This is the only oracle deck that I use for my own personal readings. I have used these other decks for readings before when I first got them, but I don't really feel connected to them. And I think it's really important that when you get an oracle deck, you personally feel connected to that deck. My tarot deck, I keep in my beautiful little Edgar Allan Poe box that I got from Unplugged, is this really old school Halloween tarot deck. It has these beautiful illustrations on it. I love it. My stepdad gave me this. And that is my only tarot deck that I use for my own personal use. It's actually the only tarot deck I own. Anyway, so I will talk you guys through how to use my Seasons of the Witch oracle card. So each oracle deck should come with its own like little guide, so you can learn what the cards mean, familiarize yourself with their meanings, how to interpret them, etc. And this is going to help you because every oracle deck is unique, so you do have to learn and use it. When I first started using this deck, I did have to cleanse it. I did cleanse it with the heat of fire, a ritual oil, and then I really, after it was cleansed, I just really sat with the cards and really tried to put my own personal intentions and my own self into them so that they would speak more directly with me. I built a really long connection with these cards, which is why they are so important to me in my own personal meditation and my own personal craft versus other cards where I just don't feel really connected to, so I don't know if they would read me properly. So we have our beautiful deck right here. I love these like little flashy red edgings. And what I would do is I would shuffle them. And as I am shuffling them, I would sit and think of an intention or a question that I want to ask. A lot of times, if I don't have any particular thing to ask about, that's okay. I'll just ask the cards to tell me what they think I need to hear. And yeah, so I do a 3-card reading. I've done other readings. I've done like the cross style readings, and like just way more complicated readings, but I don't ever feel as connected to my readings when I pull multiple cards beyond 3. So I do like 3 as my go-to reading, and I do the past, present, and future style of reading. So it's not necessarily like your past, your present, and your future. It's more like what you've been doing recently, how you feel in the moment, and what you need to address, and then what can happen if you address what needs to be addressed. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but that's kind of how I do it. So once I shuffle them, I'm going to lay them out here. And so it doesn't need to be super neat or anything. I'm actually really bad at laying down my cards. But then I kind of just sit in silence and I let my hand float over the cards and just tell me which one it thinks I should pick up. So I'm not really doing any kind of intention today. I just want to show you guys how I would do it. So I'm just going to randomly draw 3 cards. And once I draw 3 cards, I will flip them over. And I have all of the images of what I am doing up here, because I wasn't really able to figure out how to film this in a way that I could talk it through and I could show you guys. So our cards that we have drawn are Intuition, Healer, and Elements. So Intuition is our first card that we have drawn, and it says, you hold the answers, you know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. So this is going to be the past state of mind that I have had. That's what we're going to be focusing on, and I will read to you guys what intuition means here. So when you pull intuition, this says that the keywords to focus on with this card is feeling, inner sight, and visualization. And then it says that you are being asked to develop your second sight further when you are holding the intuition card. You must learn to navigate the world through your spiritual GPS rather than relying on the rational mind to show you the way. And then it goes on and on and on, and it also tells you what to do if you've pulled a reverse card. In tarot, reverse cards can have a couple different meanings. Sometimes they mean the opposite of the card. Sometimes you can interpret it to be that the message of that card is the most important thing and you really need to hone in and focus on that. I tend to use the latter as my interpretation for tarot readings, but when they tell you in the book designed by the actual creator of the oracle cards what a reverse card probably means, then I would normally tend to think about it in that regards. So then the next card, which would be our present card, is the Healer, this beautiful card right here. And it says, listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. And so the keywords for this card are guide and facilitator. And then just a brief summary of that card. It says, if you have pulled the gift of Healer, know that you are being called to initiate yourself as one of the wise ones. You are meant to be a guide for those who are finding their way, and there are many ways you can do this. And then it goes on and on and on, and also tells you information on if you pull the card and it is reversed. And then our final card for today is Elements, and it says, remember to feel the warmth pulsing through her womb. You are a child of Mother. True harmony awaits you, and then you get this beautiful, beautiful card. And then the key words for Elements are Mother, Earth, and Harmony. And it says, the Elements card represents harmony and the need to make room for all energies by allowing yourself to be present. For example, if you feel sad, sit in the sadness and ask your sorrow what it needs to know. The same applies for the different emotions that come up for you. And so, again, tarot and oracle card readings can be very much personal. So what I would do with this, again, I would look at my intuition card as my recent past or behaviors that I tend to have. Present, so what I am focusing on now to try and fix, and what my options are, which here would be the Healer card, and then what I can gain by following what my guides have said in my cards would be found in my future card, which is Elements. So how do I meditate with all of this, right? So I have a Book of Shadows. I actually just finished up this Book of Shadows and just started this new one. So all of my past tarot and oracle reflections are in this book, and I just started this one. Look at how beautiful this is with this little cat. Anyhow, so what I would do is I would basically write like a journal entry or a diary entry. I would write down what I have asked from my cards. Even if I don't know what I'm asking from my cards, I'll write all of that down, and then I will write the cards that I chose, what order they're in, if they're reversed or not. And then I will break each card down. So I will start with the intuition card, and I will focus on that. I will read the meaning, and I will reflect on the meaning, and I will write how my past may be connected to what this card is saying. I will then look at the second card, my healer card for today. That is my present card, and I will look at how that card is talking to me about my current situation, and what my options are, and what I need to think about to be more positive, or to better myself, or to overcome something. And then I will look at my third card, the Elements card, and I will dissect that meaning and how it is talking to me in my own personal life. And then I'll just sit and write for 20 minutes, kind of hashing out what these cards are telling me, what problems I'm trying to focus on, why I'm trying to focus on these problems, and how these solutions can help benefit me. One of the biggest things with tarot is tarot, again, is very open to interpretation. So it really is a tool that I use for just inner self-reflection, and these cards just guide me and help me with my own journaling prompts. And I can sit and journal about these things for anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour. And afterwards, you always feel so just refreshed and cleansed and just very at peace with yourself, because you have just really taken time for your own personal self-reflection. Tarot and oracle decks, again, are very, very personal to me. I do choose more Halloween-y kind of dark themes for my own personal deck because it's an aesthetic that I like. Maybe something like the astrological deck is more your thing, which focuses on, I believe, the Greek gods, maybe the Roman gods. But I mean, this could be 100% something that you gravitate towards more. It's all up to you and how you want to do it. But for me, I use it as a self-reflective, meditative journaling tool, and it helps me so, so much. I use my Book of Shadows in general to reflect on almost all the different types of meditations I do. I don't just do oracle and tarot meditations. I do a very, very large amount. And I also use it to keep track of like what technique seems to work best for me, what items, what stones, what scents work really well for me, and how they connect with me on a very deep and personal level. So that is really just a very, very brief insight onto how I meditate. If you use oracle cards differently, if you use tarot cards differently, if you do different spreads, different styles of anything, amazing. This is just how I personally do it, and I'm not sitting here to teach you guys how to do it. That is not my intent with this series. I just want to share how I've used it to help me with my own mental health, and I absolutely love doing these types of tarot readings and reflections. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry it's a little long and a little rambly, but yeah, I hope to keep diving more into these different type of meditative techniques. Hopefully I will get a Witch's Moon box soon where I can really show how I use every single item in the box, because I do have a lot of Witch's Moon's boxes that I do that with. If not, I'm going to continue to just grab from my altar and show you guys the different ways that I do things with past items that I have received or items that I have purchased. But yeah, and hopefully I will find a better way to film this. I'm not really sure how to film these kind of meditative videos, but I will work on it and see what I can do. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I post every Monday and Thursday, sometimes on Saturdays, and I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah.